Well, I started my writing journey when I was 16. That's actually when I wrote Beast of the Bronx. And around that time, I was kind of challenging myself because during my early high school years, I wasn't in the best mental state of mind. So I felt like I was not good enough. I felt like I couldn't do anything great. So I challenged myself to spend that school year writing Beast of the Bronx. And it felt nice knowing that I could write a complete story and not give up on it. So years later, when I went back to it, and we're talking about like when I was in college, I went back to it and I realized, okay, it's a good story, just that it needed some work. Because again, I didn't know anything about, act structure, didn't know about first person, third person perspective, like all that I didn't understand. I just kind of was like, oh, let me just write it. So that's what I ended up doing. But once I had my English professor help me fix it up, I was able to get it the way it is now. In actuality, what inspired me to write Beast of the Bronx was my high school years, because like I said, I felt like I was not good enough, and you can kind of see through my characters that some may have felt like life sucks, others may have just been like, I'm just going through the motions. But every single one of them felt like that there was something more to their life, but they didn't know what to do. So I wanted to show that these characters could grow and mature, because in life, we all grow and mature. There is points in our life where we have to step up, man up, and change something about us so that we can move forward with life. So with these characters, that's what I did. And I'm hoping that I did them justice, at least with the first book. My favorite character is Mark. And I say this not because all the other characters aren't great. No, I love every single one of my characters, including Mark's cousin, Shanta, who is actually based off of my cousin. I love her character. I love every aspect of what she does throughout the book. I love Andrew, the fact that he took the mantle of being a leader, even when it was not something that he wanted to do, but it just happened to be thrust upon him. So no, I love all my characters, but Mark is the most real character. He's kind of like a mini Deadpool in terms of that he almost breaks the fourth wall to tell the audience this is what's going on. But you get that feeling when you see how he acts, how he interacts with the others, how things are, that you're like, yeah, if this was real life, this would not go the way that it's happening. So it's kind of like this, like you kind of want to root for him to see how well he's going to grow, because he starts off basically being this coward and this lazy coward, I should say. But by the end, he has grown a lot more, and you get to see him grow throughout the story. I am in the middle of writing another book, and it's actually a prequel to the sequel of Beast of the Bronx. And why I say it that way is because this particular book, not only is it a collaboration with a good friend of mine, it doesn't really have the Beast of the Bronx characters, with the exception of Mark. And I say that because I'm focusing more on the perspective of the bad guys, to give you guys the setup of what will happen when you get to the sequel, which would be the third book. And that is where you will understand more of like what's going on. So that way, because I know how sometimes it can be where you can get into a sequel, whether it's a movie or a TV show, and if you didn't read such and such, you kind of get lost. So what I tried to do was, for the second book, was give you the setup of everything, but still give you a story. So it is still about the bad guys and what they're doing, but at the same time, you're getting this story about a new hero who is also emerging but doesn't know anything about his abilities and what he is going to do. So it's still focusing more on the bad guys and all the little things that they're doing to set up for the third book. So when you get to the third book, it picks up from, it starts from a particular point in the story, and then from there, everything that happened in the second book kind of lines up with the third book. So that way, you get the feeling like, okay, this is where everything makes sense now. And then after that certain point, which would be like the end of book 2, then book 3 completely goes to its own devices. So I'm hoping that I can do it right and do it justice. So again, just bear with me with that. I have thought about turning my books into a movie or a TV show. I have heard many times with Beast of the Bronx that it should be turned into a movie because this has a lot of action, it has great characters, it has a great story, and I do agree. But with the way the market is, I'm trying to focus on maybe a different story that I could run past like producers just to get my foot in the door and then eventually start doing it. But no, I've thought about it many times before. I have tried to put it out there, but again, it's just with how the market is, and it's not always an easy thing to do. Oh, so yes, I mean you can kind of see through my my office that I am a anime nerd in general. Believe it or not, my favorite anime is an old anime, and I'm talking about an old Shonen Jump series called Katekyo Hitman Reborn. Most of you guys who are probably watching this don't even know what the hell that is. I would say look it up, but I can tell you it is a really good anime series. Manga series was really good. I wish that they could have done more with it, but I know that when it comes to the business aspect, if the audience isn't resonating with it as much because of other things, then it falls to the wayside. And in all honesty, around the time that it really picked up was also around the time that Naruto, Bleach, One Piece was becoming more hyped. So it kind of fell to the wayside. But if you ever get a chance to read the manga or watch the anime, I'm telling you, you will enjoy it for what it is. I've gone to cons. I have actually staffed at cons, and we're still talking about, well, to put in perspective, I have actually staffed at MomoCon during the early years when it was back at Georgia Tech. So that should tell you how long MomoCon has been out. And Anime Week in Atlanta was also another one that I had staffed for a number of years. And I can say that going to a con is still magical. When you can watch people who have put their heart and soul into their cosplay and just getting to see different types of vendors, but also the different types of guests that come, because you never know. Every year it's different. Every year it is different. And it's a beautiful thing, especially when you take like people who have never gone to it, like recently took my niece who is now getting into anime, taking her for like the second time around to MomoCon, and she's enjoyed it. And actually this year she had cosplayed as Spike from Cowboy Bebop, and she did a really good job with it. And again, it's for someone that's new to anime and can still pull off a good cosplay is good. And yes, to answer your second question, which is if I cosplay, yes, I do. I mostly cosplay with my wife and daughter, but I have cosplayed on my own and have cosplayed X number of years before meeting my wife and, of course, having our kid. But I try to focus on low budget type of costumes. The biggest one that I have done that I consider a life goal for me has been me dressing up as a Kamen Rider, which I know most people don't know what that is, but just basically think of like Power Rangers. So it's on that same realm. The word for it is basically tokusatsu. So think of that same realm of Power Rangers, but different. Oh, this is actually like going back to what you were talking about was with Kamen Rider. Now, with Kamen Rider, compared to Power Rangers, they have really cool looking henshin belts, or in this case, a henshin brace. Don't get me wrong, I still love my Power Rangers. I still love them. They always have a special place in my heart. But Kamen Rider just has this better story that I guess because I'm older, I can resonate with it more. When I was younger, Power Rangers was my jam. I would watch every single Power Ranger series that came out, and even though I'm still older, I still watch a lot of the Power Ranger series, and I've watched really the Super Sentai versions of those said Power Ranger series, and I'm still watching them to this day. So yeah, I'm a big tokusatsu fan. Like, compared to anime, I'm a little bit bigger on that. Now, I do have my moments where I am more into anime than I am into tokusatsu, but tokusatsu is still I grew up more with tokusatsu than I did with anime. So when I finally got to realize what was considered anime and what was just considered animated cartoons, then I started to realize, okay, here's where I really started my anime journey. But once Mighty Morphin Power Rangers first aired, I've been hooked on Power Rangers since then. Watched even Big Bad Beetleborgs, VR Troopers. I mean, I'm still watching them to this day. I am thinking about it. And I mean, there's nothing set in stone as of yet, but I would like to, because I feel like I want my fans to get to know me and to get to know more about my books. Because don't get me wrong, doing this interview is great, but not everybody's going to look at it. I would rather that I can get the personal interaction and get people on board based on what I can offer them. And right now, I would like to have the second book ready before I start trying to sell it, so that way once the third book is ready, I will have more that I can do as, I go to different cons. Because aside from MomoCon and AWA and the local ones that are here in Savannah, I really haven't gone outside of that. No, I take that back. I did go to an Amazement one time, just once, but I was with one of my homies, and it was still a wonderful experience. But we're talking about like many years ago. So yeah, everything has changed nowadays. So it's kind of hard to say what I can do, what I would like to do. But I think with my partner in crime for the second book, I think we are going to try and push ourselves to go to a con and get a booth and sell as many books as we can. Hope that everybody has enjoyed this interview. So, continue to follow me, whether on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, my YouTube channel, Storytime with Ro. All of those. If you really enjoy what I've been talking about, if you really enjoy just the fact that I'm a urban fantasy author and I'm willing to share these tidbits with you, then yeah, take your time to follow me. Until next time, holla.